Welcome to yet another episode of the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories, a series of conversations with CXOs and business leaders over chai or coffee, if that's your preference, brought to you by ETH. The urgency and pressure on business leaders as they navigate the COVID-19 pandemic has been immense, to say the least. These business leaders have been constantly monitoring myriad ways to ensure that their respective companies stay on course in the new normal. The incredible demands placed on them makes us often wonder how they have time for family, hobbies, or any downtime at a personal level. And let's not forget that they are mere mortals. This initiative by ETH is aimed at creating a deeper connection with them and to get a sense of what business leaders of several prominent companies do when they are not in business mode. Today, it's my pleasure to host Atul Kumar, General Manager, Digital Banking at Canara Bank. Atul, welcome to the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories.
Thank you.
Great. It's good to have you here, Atul, and let's dive straight into this and start at the very beginning. If you were to go back to the early years of your childhood, school, or later college, could you let us know about any positive influences or incidents that contributed towards shaping your foundation in those formative years?
Yeah, certainly. See, everyone comes across many childhood memories which shape your life or career. In fact, I am from a bureaucratic family, so father was in administrative service, and our main first and foremost, generally, people from Bihar, you will find that they are more into civil services and so on. So banking was not the forte for most of those people.
Sure.
And technology was, I think, last in the agenda. So at that point of time, somehow I had some interest in, doing something different. So I think from that family, I bifurcated to, banking sector. And then in banking sector, when I joined, it was basically a kind of starting of, automation, what we call it. So it was, the ledger banking was getting into a PC-based systems,
Yes.
like some small PCs, and you put lock and all, virtual physical lock. It was very
Sure, yes.
So, and then they were called ALPMs, Auto Advanced Ledger Posting Machines. So at that point of time, we started, and the childhood is totally influenced by, my parents, particularly father who was in administrative service and very punctual, very routine life. So I think that helped us a lot for, coping up with the kind of pressure you have in banking today. And I will see that is a very important, lesson for my life that, being from an administrative background, it really helped me to work hard and to cope with the, extremes of our work-life balance.
Absolutely. Wonderful. It's great to hear that story. Okay, my next question for you is, it is said that creative thinking is the lifeblood of any organization. How do you encourage it within your organization to keep the new ideas coming in, and especially in the domain of IT? How do you, are there any examples you'd like to share, especially in the past 18 months where you would have really have had to ramp up things given the sudden pandemic?
Certainly. I think umpteen number of examples from my career and from my stint in the banking sector, particularly handling technology, starting from core banking. Just to give you a background, today we are part of Canara Bank. Earlier I was in Syndicate Bank, and it was the first public sector bank to start core banking solution way back in 2000.
Okay.
And we had a global tender kind of scenario, because no other bank in India was having this core banking solution, which we heard from, US and Europe. Even today, if you see India, the way we have grown in public sector banks and all banking entire sector, even today, US does not have that kind of core banking solution, which we in India have put in for all the entire banking sector. So it is entirely a different state. Still in US, you will find mainframes are being used widely. I had visited Wells Fargo also, and we found that they still use a lot of heterogeneous system, variety of other old systems which we have actually come out with. So that way the technology journey has been really super. Now coming back to this COVID time and last 18 months challenges,
Yes.
particularly the biggest factor in bank is today nobody in bank is used to work from home, as you know.
Yes.
Like when you go to a branch, people are sitting there. When you go to a administrative office, people are sitting there and are doing all kind of work. And then the access, the login access is only to the server. And when you are in the branch, because you have a dedicated network, we use a MPLS lease line kind of network, and which is dedicated, very high bandwidth requirement. Multiple systems are there. So you physically go to the branch or office and then only access your critical systems. So
Yes.
the biggest challenge we faced was how to make it available at home. And we could do it. Of course, there were challenges, but thanks to all our service providers, so we could quickly move towards what we call as accessing all those critical servers from home with all kind of security, mapping their IPs, allowing them the channel, opening the tunnel, encrypting the data in between. So whatever best security measure was there, we could achieve it. We had to struggle literally day and night for almost 2 to 3 months, but we were able to do it. I think that was, providing an access to critical servers in the banking industry has never happened in the past. Over I would say I do not remember any time in my career of around 25 years it has ever happened. But this time we could provide it. I think that itself is a very big, I would say, sense of satisfaction that yes, we could run bank even from home. That was never heard of in the bank.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. Wonderful. And I'm sure, you would have had a lot of ideas coming in from the members of your team.
Certainly.
Absolutely.
Certainly.
Okay. So my next question to you is, what according to you, Atul, is the best way, in your experience, to build a great team?
I think the most important thing is, particularly with today's generation, millennial generation, particularly in technology, we work with a lot of youngsters. And, of the olden days when we joined banking, for us, the senior was like, God and, like a mentor. And we used to take a lot of lessons from them. But today, I think the leadership, the entire definition has changed. Today, in the technology era, you learn more from your youngsters, particularly when it comes to adopting new technology and services. You
Right.
can guide them, but when it comes to adopting the new technology, I think they're very good in that. They can learn really fast, and they are the new generation people. But their working style is totally different. For example, in bank, we are used to formal dressing. Just to give you a very simple example, with a suit and tie kind of thing. But they really don't want to do that. So in my department, digital banking, I said nothing, no problem. You come in half pants or t-shirts or whatever you like.
Yes.
And you don't have this time also that, we were very strict earlier on the timing, that 10 minutes 10 you have to be there. Otherwise, there will be some issues in terms of your leave, etc. So all those, I would say, HR related changes, we quickly, abandoned it and to suit the new generation. I told them, you come as you want to come, the way you want to dress, the way you want to work, and no need to call me as sir or anything. If you are comfortable calling me Atul, you call me Atul, whatever you like. So I have no ego, no hassles for that. So I think that itself was a great change, which could facilitate very good cooperation from my young team. And that has helped a lot. So today, everybody respects and loves, I think, each other. And I'm also, I think, a popular person in that respect.
Wonderful.
That, even if I call them during 12 o'clock in the night, they will somehow pick up the phone and call me back, even if they are sleeping. So
Yes.
That has created a very good goodwill among us, among the entire team. So I would say a very good, different behavior with this kind of generation helps a lot.
Great, great, wonderful. It's good to hear that from you. Wonderful. Let me come to the dynamics of a team again. And my next question to you is, whether you like it or not, within a team, there is always competition. Okay. So my question to you is this. Is competition within a team healthy? Why or why not?
I personally feel competition within the team is healthy. But again, it depends upon the kind of project you are doing and
Yes.
the kind of timelines you are having. For example, if I have a critical project, and for example, as I gave the example of a remote access of servers, if our people start competing for a very small project, which is very critical, I think that creates sometimes problem. You have to, align to the leadership and immediately do the job, in one possible way. Because if you keep experimenting, you don't have time for that.
Yes.
But when it comes to a large implementation like a data warehouse project or business intelligence project or a core banking implementation or a business analytics project where you try to do, I would say, a meaningful data analytics, try to market or cross-sell, upsell your products. So anything, I think, which requires a little bit of research, a little bit of forward thinking, I think competition is very much required. And it really helps us to, build a better system than if we don't allow those competition. So I encourage competition for any large project, any big project. Of course, for emergencies, you have to simply shut down and follow one process. Otherwise, for example, your internet banking is down. Yes. Now you have a set process to see that that server is up and running, sure, and people can access it. And sure, you are in a lot of pressure. Everywhere calls are coming. In social media, your bank's name is there that, interbank of Canara is down. So yes, you cannot really afford to, experiment on that side. So absolutely, at that point of time, I would say you just do the process and make it quick enough. But when it comes to a project implementation, I think I would encourage, people from the same group to have divergent opinion and to compete with each other so that we can have a better and meaningful solution. That's what.
Fantastic. Very, very forward thinking and great sharing. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Atul, what is the number one aspect that you look at or a trait when you onboard employees or recruit employees onto your team?
I think most important, very interesting and important question for the entire, particularly IT sector, the kind of people we are having. I think the most important thing I look for is the attitude of the person. Very difficult to judge, very difficult to measure. But if the attitude of the person is good, I think learning and seeding him with what we want him to do is all can work. But his attitude should be positive and he should be dedicated. I think that is the most important trait, according to me, because today's the era of knowledge is very different. Yes. You have a lot of resources at your disposal to learn anything which is new and current. But if you are not having a positive attitude in life, you really cannot be compelled or made to execute certain tasks. So I think attitude is the most important.
Wonderful. Great. And this goes beyond the salary. This goes beyond the technical skills that are required.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Atul, do you remember receiving your first salary? And yeah, I'm sure you will. And how did you spend that money?
It's very interesting. My first posting was in Calcutta. Okay. And, of course, in a bank. And the first salary was, if I remember correctly, it was some 3,000 rupees. Okay. But I wanted to tell that was a provisionary officer's salary at that point of time, way back in 88. But I must tell you that used to live, I would say, like a king in that kind
absolutely
of in Calcutta. I still remember probably the theater's ticket were somewhere around 1 rupee.
Exactly.
And the best of the Chinese restaurants in Calcutta, I think Calcutta food is amazing. You must have got some idea about it. So the best of the life you spend there, and still you land up saving almost 50% of your salary. So that was the scenario way back then.
And 3,000 rupees in 88 was a princely sum.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. May I ask you as to what's the best professional advice that you've ever received and who gave it to you?
Yeah, I would call one of my mentors, Dr. Amitabh Chakravarti.
Okay.
Basically PhD in computer science and from IIT Delhi, and a very dedicated person who was my boss in one of the assignments in bank. He gave me one advice I think I would never forget in my entire life. And that was, work with honesty and sincerity. Very simple two words, but I think has a lot of meaning. And I try to follow that, without getting into any kind of organizational politics, and I think that has really helped us a lot. And I feel that it still holds true that if you work with honesty and sincerity, there is no limit for you to achieve, and you will achieve everything in life and career. And I think there is no limit for that. That's
Absolutely. What wonderful advice. I mean, keeping it simple, and honesty and sincerity sound like very simple words, but in a professional career spanning over how many years now, Atul? It's about what, 25 plus years of yours? Yeah. I mean, to carry on that mantle is not easy at times, but you realize at the end of the day that you get a good night's sleep because you know that you've done everything with honesty and sincerity.
That's right. That's right. It makes you very peaceful, and you really enjoy a good sleep.
Absolutely. How do you measure success as a leader, Atul?
Yeah, I do not associate success with designations or just getting a promotion or an elevation. I will be more happy if somebody in the industry or somebody at the senior management board level tells me that I'm very happy the way Atul has executed this project. So I am delighted that there is no customer complaint. So for me, the success is when people remember you, people admire you, people adore you, rather than just people respect you out of fear, or because you are senior to him, you can dictate terms. So I think my definition of leadership is totally different. So I want to be remembered for my good work, and I think more than money, that is what attracts me more.
Atul, from the way you're responding to these questions and the honesty and sincerity with which you answered that last question, I know that people love you and admire you within your team and even outside of the current organization that you're in, your peers and colleagues. And what more do we want, Atul, right? At the end of the day.
That's right. That's right. I think life is simple. We sometimes make it quite complex, by having unlimited desires and unlimited things which we want as part of our life. And that makes our life very complicated. I think if you are simple, honest, and sincere, you have everything in life, and you can enjoy your life and have a good night's sleep.
Wonderful words. Wonderful words. I really like the way this cutting chai conversation is going. Atul, with that, what I'm going to do is move on to another segment, which is called the one word, one line answer. I am going to throw a set of questions at you. Very simple, fun questions. I will request you to answer in one word or one line. If it's a line, I'll specify that. Okay. I just want you to relax and have fun. Like I said, there are no wrong answers. There will only be right answers because all these answers are your answers. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to give you two options. Kindly choose one. City life or village life?
Village life.
Okay. Money or fame?
Fame.
Nice. Music or movies?
Music.
Save or spend?
Spend.
Chai and biscuit or coffee and muffin?
Chai and biscuit.
Nice. Now, since you spend a lot of time in Bangalore,
yeah,
I think more or less I can call you a Bangaloreite by now.
Yes, yes.
So my next option to you is masala dosa or benne dosa?
Masala dosa. Okay. Masala dosa, and that too from MTR. I think you must try that.
My goodness. My next question to you, Atul, you'll not believe, was MTR or Vidyarthi Bhavan?
Oh, of course, MTR. I have tried Vidyarthi Bhavan also, but somehow I am a fan of MTR.
Okay. That's nice. That's wonderful. Taking the stairs or taking the elevator?
Taking the stairs.
Nice. Atul, 3 applications that you use the most when it comes to your smartphone.
When it comes to smartphone, I think Microsoft Notes, is very, very handy for me, to integrate all the mails, chats, etc., whatever I want, and I can get it. That is one thing. Another thing, of course, the calculator part of it.
Okay.
Being a banker, we need to really calculate a lot of times, about budgeting and things like that.
Sure,
And
sure.
of course, the third is the YouTube. I love to watch a lot of music, videos, and informational videos, and whole lot of videos.
Okay. 3 things you never leave your house without.
Of course, one mobile phone, one will be iPad. I can leave sometimes my laptop, but iPad somehow I carry. I find it very handy and light to carry and use. And the battery backup is also always very good. And beautiful apps are there, so which I use. I think very interesting apps. I think that's why they are miles ahead. And of course, the third thing will be, I would say, I have a notebook which I carry even today, and I like to note down certain things, which is I found very interesting or important in my day-to-day life. It's a memory for me, so I like to read it when I'm free. And I feel a lot of learning in life at every stage, and to learn from everybody today. So
wonderful. Which 3 words best describe you?
Again,
3 words only.
Simple, honest, and sincere.
Nice. Would you rather experience life in slow motion or fast forward?
I will like life in slow motion.
Nice. I think I know what the answer to the next question is, but let me ask you. Be without the internet and your devices for a month, or be without your spouse for a month?
First one.
Yeah, I knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
Fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret?
If possible, yes, I would like to solve the biggest regret.
Okay. If you were to be stuck in a room for 24 hours, whom would you choose to be stuck with? I am going to give you 3 options, and I think I know the answer to this also, but let's see what you say. The 3 options, kindly choose one of the 3. Okay. Jack Welch, MS Dhoni, or Amir Khan?
Okay. Of course, here, Jack Welch will be the right
Exactly. I've done research on you. I've done research on you, and that's why I put Jack Welch there.
Yeah, I think you are right. You are 100% right.
And even the temptation of MS Dhoni and Amir Khan didn't sway you. You went for Jack Welch.
Yes.
Okay, great. If you were a kitchen appliance, Atul, which one would you be and why?
I think pressure cooker is very innovative thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Very fast, in a very time-bound manner. And, we always lack time. So I think that is one interesting appliance, I would say.
Absolutely. Which is the most admired Indian company for you?
I love Tata's as a group.
Okay, that's right. If you had your own talk show, who would you invite as your first guest?
If possible, I'd like to invite, again, going by the same Tata, Mr. Ratan Tata.
Nice. Wonderful. Kindly complete the sentence. It's like fill in the blanks. Life is incomplete without dash.
Very interesting. I think life is incomplete without, society, I would say.
Nice. Wonderful. You did very well in this one word, one line answer. Well done, Atul.
Difficult, yeah.
My final question to you before we wind up this cutting chai conversation, if you could take a minute to tell us, what makes life meaningful for you?
Once you are satisfied with what you have done, during your work hour or during your stay at home or whatever you are doing, if you feel satisfied that, yes, I have done something meaningful and I'm happy about it, I really feel good about it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I really enjoyed this conversation with you, Atul.
Thank you very much.
For me, you come across as a leader, and I'd like to quote something here. which says that success isn't just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. And I think you come across as that kind of leader. So on behalf of the Economic Times and ET Edge, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Atul, for joining us at this Cutting Chai conversation. We wish you, Canara Bank, and your family the very best going forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was really nice to, have answered the questions, in a variety of subjects, And
Thank you for taking those questions and answering them very sportingly. Thank you so much.